Hello, girls, and welcome to day 7 of the 21-day reset. You are becoming someone who is consistent with choosing you and your future, even when it's been hard, even when you've not wanted to. You've persevered, and that is so powerful, and that says so much about you and who you're becoming. But this week has been packed full of information, and I have loaded you with so much and kept you so busy. So today, we're taking a detox. We're doing a mental, a physical, and an emotional detox today, and all of these tasks you'll be able to come back to at any point in the future. When we think of detox, where does your mind go to? Maybe it's deleting all social media or doing a 14-day juice cleanse. Either way, it's usually something that's really, really extreme and usually doesn't stick. But as we've been learning this week, consistency is key. So we're not going to the extremes today. We are just doing small little actions which will set you up for the next week. Of course, these are a lot less dramatic, but they're also a lot more achievable, and they're way more likely to create lasting change in your life, resulting in you being happier, healthier, and more positive. This is about detoxing your entire input system that your brain is constantly absorbing: the voices, the energy, the environment. Today, we will be targeting the people you scroll past and stalk, the physical clutter in your space, and also the constant to do list that's going on in your mind. Because when life is loud, you don't get to hear yourself, and your power, your intuition, and your peace is all in the quiet. Your brain is always adapting to what it's exposed to most. So if you're becoming more and more overstimulated, emotionally heightened, surrounded by mess, your brain is going to start seeing that as normal. But when you become aware of all the noise in your outer life and you choose to pause, disconnect, and reset, then your nervous system gets a chance to regulate, which then brings you back into the state of creativeness and calm, focused and clear-headed, just like your normal self again. I'm sure you've heard of the phrase tidy room, tidy mind, and that's just it. When your life is tidy, your mind follows. So tidying, unplugging and breathing are not just practical ways to keep you busy or to keep your mind quiet. They also result in your mind being a safer space to create. And if the old you is usually unorganized and does let mess build up, then today we're saying bye-bye to her. This isn't some extreme deep cleaning exercise, so don't be put off. As always, this is just small, tangible changes that we'll be making to make our environment a nicer place for us to be in. And these are all things that you can come back to today, tomorrow, next week, or any time in the future when things just feel too much or overwhelming. It's important to remember that you don't need to keep pushing yourself to do more and more every day. Usually, that's what leads to burnout. Sometimes you just need to be less and focus on refreshing. So use this as your personal detox plan. Pick some to do today and note the rest down in your Aligned to Her Bible, and we'll come back to them another time. Do 3 every Sunday, do 1 every other evening. You can never do these things too often, only not enough. First up is a digital detox, because your mind becomes what you scroll through. This isn't about getting rid of social media completely, it's just about cleaning up your digital world and letting it be a nicer, safer, more beneficial place for you to spend your time. Take 30 minutes and just go through your Instagram, go through your TikToks, go through your Facebook feeds, and anything that doesn't give you a positive feeling, just click unfollow or not interested. Notice how each video and reel truly makes you feel. Does it make you compare? Does it spread negativity? Or maybe it just involves drama that you don't need in your life. Whatever it is, if it doesn't inspire, educate, or genuinely entertain you, just get rid of it. The next one is just deleting apps that you simply don't use or they don't align with who you're becoming. For example, if you're focused on becoming your most healthiest, fittest version of you, then get rid of the Just Eat, Deliveroo's and McDonald's app. They literally are serving no purpose to you anymore. Next, try moving all the distracting apps into just one folder. Again, I'm not saying delete them, but just put them all in one place and maybe make them slightly harder to reach. This encourages you just to have a small moment of consciousness before you do start binge scrolling, and maybe makes you wonder, oh, is this really what I want to spend the next hour of my time doing? Or do I want to do something a bit more productive? Call the folder something like Stay Conscious or Be Intentional, not to make you feel guilty, just to try and make you a bit more productive. Next one, you can try limiting your screen time. I just mean like when you're on the bus or when you're studying, rather than sitting and scrolling through TikTok or maybe having Netflix or YouTube playing in the background. Try just putting on an audiobook or listening to some positive music. Next up, we're talking emotional detox, and this is about taking responsibility for your energy and for anything that you've been bottling up and allowing yourself to release it. Set a timer for 10 or 15 minutes, take your journal out and just write. Take a fresh page and just release everything that's been going on in your mind lately. Have a rant. You never know, you might realize what the real root of your problem is. Write down everything that you want to let go of, and then write down what you want to start focusing on and prioritizing instead. What you do with it after is up to you. Sometimes I like to leave the page in my journal so I can look back on it another time and see how far I've come. Other times I like to rip it out, chuck it up, scrumple it up, get it in the bin, burn it, whatever you feel right, do it. It's like I'm visually telling myself that those thoughts no longer have a place in my mind. Okay, the next one to try, which is especially for us as women, because sometimes we just need to feel. So just let yourself cry. If you want to let it out, let it out. This is about just letting yourself be with zero judgment. We don't always need a reason. Sometimes we just feel emotional. It could be due on our periods, or maybe we're just finding this week a little bit harder to get through than usual. And that's okay. Just let it out. Just cry. Or you could try taking a walk. So cliche, but you can never and should never underestimate the power of just stepping outside. Whether it's for 5 minutes or 5 hours, it could literally be all you need and make the world of difference to providing you with some clarity. So take your favourite route, go to the beach, go to a wooded area, put your headphones in, listen to your positive playlist, or maybe just an audiobook or a calming podcast, or maybe just listen to the sound of the outside. Listen to the sea waves, the trees, the wind. If there's a bench you come across, take 5 minutes and just be mindful and sit. Just feel at one with the outdoors. Next up, environmental detox, because your environment reflects your inner state and vice versa. Cleaning it up allows us to feel lighter, calmer, and more in control. And if you're a bit like me and the idea of deep cleaning your whole entire house is way off-putting, that's okay. Just start with one small area. You might be the polar opposite and absolutely love cleaning, and that is great. This is going to be such an enjoyable task for you. But if not, just set a 10-minute timer and get some stuff done. It could be organising your bedside table or your wardrobe or cleaning the rubbish out your car. 10 minutes might not seem like a lot of time, but I promise you it will make a noticeable difference. Even just little things like washing your bed sheets, opening a window, lighting a candle, all of these improve your environment, which in turn improves your mental state. And if your space is already spotless, try moving things around, rearranging your furniture, rejiggling your room. Little side note again, if you want to really create new habits and step into someone new, rejiggling your room and rearranging your furniture is actually a really, really beneficial thing you can do. Because when you wake up and you get out of bed from a different angle, you walk a different route to the bathroom out of your usual routine, it alerts your brain for change. It literally strengthens the neural pathways ready for change and just tells your brain to be prepared that you're going to be out with the usual default setting. And lastly, let's go into mental detoxing. I was listening to a Mel Robbins podcast recently, and it was actually on time management, but she goes into how she quite frequently uses this thing called a brain dump. What she does is she sits herself down and writes down absolutely everything, every feeling, every task that's going on in her mind on a piece of paper. From reminding yourself that you need to reply to a certain email or text, or maybe planning something bigger like renovating your house. Whatever it is, if it's on your mind, get it on the piece of paper. And then when she has a spare 10 or 15 minutes or just feels like she should be doing something productive, she'll pick something on that list, set the timer, and just get it done. If it's something as simple as just replying to a text, that's great, get that done, take it off, onto the next until your timer goes off. Or you might not get it finished. It might be something bigger like painting a wall or writing a whole assignment, but you are now 10 minutes ahead of what you were before. And when that timer goes off, that's it. You've done it. You can stop thinking and feeling guilty about it now, and you can get on with the rest of your day. You never know, something crazy might happen, and you might just hit that timer again and go for another 10 minutes and get the rest of the wall painted or get your first paragraph written. But after you've done, the most important thing is you can stop letting it play on your mind. You don't need to let it overwhelm you because you've just worked towards it, and now you can go and enjoy the rest of your day guilt-free. And then maybe in the evening or the next day, you'll find yourself with another spare 20 minutes. And guess what? It's time to get that list out again and get another thing done. At first, you might find it completely pointless in spending such little amount of time on such a big task. and instead spend weeks and weeks and weeks waiting to feel motivated for 5 whole hours to set aside to do that one thing. But if you spend 10 minutes in the evening every day or every second day working towards it, in them few weeks, it could be finished. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this word, but it's always good to be consistent. But seriously, you don't need to be making huge leaps in life in order to move forward. These small steps are way more beneficial and achievable. But this whole brain dump process, you can do as often as you like. You could do it 5 times a day, you could do it twice a week. The point is, you're moving forward, and once you've completed it, you can allow your mind to take a break, knowing that you've made the right moves in the right direction. But any of these detox tasks, you should never be looking at as a punishment. Really, they're a chance to reflect and refresh, and ultimately, it's a form of self care. You don't need to be doing every single one of these every Sunday as a Sunday reset. You can just do a few today and then the next try over the next few weeks and see how you get on with them. And if you don't know where to start, I really do recommend doing the social media ones first, because it's where you spend the majority of your time. And if anything, it doesn't make you feel good, use the not interested or mute buttons to your advantage. It really doesn't take long for Instagram and TikTok to catch up to these changes as well. So next time you do open your phone and have a scroll, hopefully it's going to be a much more positive place for your mind to be. Because social media isn't all bad, and it can be an extremely beneficial place for you to spend your time, and it can be quite educational as well if you know the right route to go down. You just don't want to fall down a rabbit hole of comparison content that makes you feel shit. Just remember that every time you create quiet, you're creating space for your most aligned, grounded, joyful self to rise. Okay, guys, today's case study is going to seem quite random, but there is a reason that it links to today, and that's because there's a movie made out of it. And when I am chilling on a Sunday or just want to have some downtime but still want to be productive or not just give in to junk TV, this is one of my favourite movies to watch. Now, the movie is called The Walk, and it's about Philippe Petit, who originally flew from France to New York to live out one of his most insane dreams. In 1974, as the Twin Towers had just been built, but before they were actually open and in use yet, Felipe walked on a high wire strung from one Twin Tower to the other, with no safety net, no harness, just him, his mindset, and 1,300 feet in the air. Felipe spent years visualizing and rehearsing for this exact moment. Of course, he faced rejection, legal issues, and literally was risking his own life for this one crazy dream that he had. But there was nothing standing in his way. People, of course, told him how crazy and how delusional he was, but he was only focused on the vision, and for him, it was already done. In the moment, he was focused, calm, and present, and he did it. And he did it once, and he walked back, and he walked back, and he walked back over 8 times. And I just think Felipe's story is just an absolute insane reminder of anything we want to do, even the completely unthinkable, is achievable. Nothing is too much, nothing is too crazy, nothing is too delusional. Don't let anyone stand in your way. If you want something, if you can see yourself actually doing it, getting it, it's already yours. It's already done. But your mind is the most important asset that you have, which is why it's so important what you feed it, what it sees, and what environment it lives in. So slow down today, do some detoxing tasks, and just remember that you are capable of absolutely anything you put your mind to. So for this upcoming week, I want you to remember Philippe's story and him on the wire, because all you and him had to do is just keep moving forward. And I'll see you guys tomorrow as we embark on the beginning of our second week. Now, I hope this course is shaping up to be the second best investment you've ever made in your life, because the first one, of course, is you. Love you. See you tomorrow. Bye.